There's got to be a catch if Burger King's going to do breakfast for a penny. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. His radio has to be a catch. I know it's one day only. It's the 30th. I feel that's
Tuesday.
Like a Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday, a week
Okay.
from tomorrow. I think you got to have the app. That's probably the
I would imagine.
the catch. And you got to order at least $1 worth of something. But, I mean, if you're getting a drink or whatever, but you get a free breakfast.
It is an order online or through the app.
Yeah.
Either or. So you just don't pull up the drive-thru and say, I'll take that breakfast for a penny.
But that might be, right. That might be a way to maybe feed the fam for breakfast that morning before school.
I would think, I don't know this, but I would think there's a cap on it.
Oh, yeah, and it's probably like breakfast
A
for
minimum.
one. But if you've got, so I used to do this when the boys were little, is I would entice them to get up a little easier, a little quicker, get dressed with the little Cinnamonies or the French toast sticks at Burger King because they
Really?
loved them. They loved them. And they don't like Burger King otherwise, but for that.
And what they're doing for a penny is not one of the meals. It's one of the sandwiches.
Sure.
So then, of course, if you want any, do they do hash browns? Do they call them hash browns there? I don't know. I've never had breakfast there.
I cannot remember. I don't
Or
know.
coffee. So if you do one of the meal things there, it's not the penny.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they would honor it if you go, hey, I'll do the sandwich for a penny and then throw in the hash browns and the coffee.
That you pay for, or
Yeah.
you want them to throw it
Yeah.
in.
I guess that would be a la
Yeah,
carte.
because you gotta buy at least $1 worth. But when you go through, please, when you go through the drive-through, don't order a croissant. Order a croissant.
Oh, she's going to
They
make you
love
say
that.
it fancy.
Like, please, that would be
They
awesome.
love that. How do you know they love
A
that?
friend of mine used to do that.
All
she
the
would
time?
go up, yes, because that is the way she kind of spoke. Like, she always was fancy.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. The person is being kind on the thing.
Yes.
And then when the microphone is closed, they're looking at their employees going, oh, there's that lady again that
That
says
fancy.
croissant.
Well, but maybe they like it. They, maybe.
She's a positive person. Listen to the positivity coming out of
It
Liz.
makes them smile. So from here on out, if I order a croissant, which I haven't in I don't even know how long, it will be a croissant.
Yeah, and then the eyes will roll. So Melanie is here at 800-447-7234. What's your thought about that, Melanie?
So I Googled the ad for Burger King croissant, and it is a croissant for a penny. You do it online or through the app. You have to purchase at least $1 of something, and then you get any one of the croissant sandwiches for the penny. Also on the 23rd, they're celebrating National Pie Day, where they're going to be giving out free Hershey pies.
Now, here's the thing, Melanie. You should have never said croissant, and I'll tell you why. Because Liz is now going to demand you say it a certain way.
Come on, girl.
Croissant.
Give me a little more Frenchness. Croissant.
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 A little more help, a little more coaching.
Okay,
She's
okay.
almost there.
You have the first part of the word, croix, but now sang. Croissant.
Croissant.
Try it. Try it a little slower.
Croissant.
Croissant.
I feel like I'm in France.
I love you so much.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
That iPhone case that fell from the airplane 16,000 fleet, the Alaskan Airlines. You remember what happened to that. The door plug, all that stuff, nobody was hurt. But some things went out the plane, including some dude's phone. And this guy in Oregon who literally found the phone fully intact. They were able to confirm it was from that flight. It had half the battery life in it, or on it, still in airplane mode.
Which is hilarious.
And they said it was open to the baggage claim area for the Alaskan Airlines. So he was ready to go pick up his luggage, and then all that happened.
He lost his phone and his luggage. Yeah, so they figured out which phone case this was, because if it can survive a 16,000-foot fall, I feel like that's the kind of case I need to get myself, because I drop my phone a lot.
16,000 feet, yeah.
That's not, I have had phones break when they fall out of my back pocket. I'm 5'3". So, hello. It felt like 2.5 feet.
And if it came from the back pocket, yeah, that's not a long way down.
Right? So I will never buy that phone case again, Kate Spade. But anyway, Cryo Armor is the name of the case. And I think it sells for like almost $70 if you get it from the company. But you can get it on Amazon for $25.
Years ago, I was at Carowinds with the family. I had my phone in my pocket, and we were riding Fury. And I've ridden Fury at Carowinds hundreds of times. And lo and behold, my iPhone fell out of my pocket. The person behind me actually saw it come out. We were able to find it, and somebody at the park gave it to us. And man, it was destroyed because it hit the roller coaster on the way out.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
His radio.
There's a couple, Rachel and her husband, and they started doing something at the first of the year. And so far, they've been able to maintain it. What they do is they spend 3 hours a night with each other, intentionally connecting, and they break it up into hour increments. Now, I'm going to say I don't think they have kids because there's no kids in this mix at all.
It almost sounds like the kids are in bed at this point.
Well, I thought about that maybe at first, but if I think about what time they get home from work, if they get home between 5:30 and 6, and then they've got 3 hours intentionally with each other, I mean, that's still putting them at 9 o'clock. And
9 or 10 to go to bed.
Right.
So
and
what
if
are they
they're
doing?
Well, in the first hour, they call it productive time. And I like this. They spend an hour doing chores together. So it's not, she goes to one room and does laundry, and then he's doing the dishes. They do everything together. Second hour, they put their phones away, and they actually have conversations, and they talk about their day and even planning vacations and things like that. And then third hour, they spend intentionally doing things like playing board games or watching a TV show or a movie together.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, so they're doing it really intentionally because I think they had gotten to a point over the last year or so where they were not connecting at all. Hey,
Even without kids. Because
right.
what Liz was just explaining, it sounds like they don't have kids.
Right, because it's so intentional and there's no other distractions, putting away the phones, turning off the TVs, that kind of thing, at least for that hour.
Those kind of things you could do with kids later on in the day. Their first hour is doing chores. I'm thinking even if you put the kids down early, they'd still be getting involved somehow, some way. Waking up, get them back into bed.
Sure.
They got to have a snack.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And it is harder to connect.
But I love that they're actually doing
I do
this
too.
and leading the charge, especially the part about putting the phone down, not
Oh, I
even
know.
picking that puppy up. Scott does something like this in the evenings with his wife.
We try to. Our house is so crazy busy, and I go to bed so early because I'm getting up early. But when the kids are in bed and my wife is not working, now she works from home and does a lot of work at night, but sometimes we'll just take not 3 hours, but maybe 20 or 30 minutes and just try to detach from electronics and talk to each other, or go for a quick walk in the neighborhood if the weather's nice sometimes. Just little mini moments that we try to create.
And you need to really kind of try to do that every single day. My husband says our kids are a little older now. We do get that time in the evening, and we'll just talk. And I go to bed early as well, but we try to do that when he gets home and spend a little time
When the
together.
kids were younger, Amy and I could never feel like we could get away. Because when we moved here 23 years ago, it was just us. There's no family for babysitters,
extended,
grandma, grandpas, no aunts and uncles that are around here. Still the case, of course. But now that they're older, we're trying to be more intentional at least a couple of times a month to get away from the house and do something together.
Well, that's why I like our travel to church. It takes us an hour to get to church, and that is real intentional time. An hour to, an hour from, and it ain't nothing but us.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Church is only 10 minutes away from them.
We just take the long way.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Applebee's is doing this, and I think it's today. $200 for the whole year, and then you get, I guess, dinner for once a week or something like that.
So you get like $30, up to $30 to spend at Applebee's once a week for an entire year. And yes, it goes on sale at like noon today, and it's probably going to go quick. But here's my thing about Applebee's. My husband and I like to go there because they do like a 2 for $25 or a 2 for $30. So and then you put that on top of this discount. That's pretty affordable. I mean, you could go. You might get sick of the riblets after a while.
You would think Scott's like into this.
No, you can never get sick of riblets. I used to eat the riblet basket with the fries all the time in college. I love those riblets. And I know, I'm thinking, okay, $200 is a little hefty, but I was wondering if you could half it with somebody. So you pay $100, they pay $100, and you kind of split it all year.
I guess if your name's on it, they will police it. I don't know all those details.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a picture on it. That could be part of the deal. Probably not.
And then what happens to a $30 if you don't? I mean, if you don't use it for a week,
You're just out.
so you lose $30.
I would think. I would
Really?
not think it would carry over, and so you could spend 60.
I don't like
then-
that. Give it
Yeah.
to me in a gift card or
Yeah.
something.
And that's the thing. I want to give it to my kids.
Listen, Applebee's wonderful place. For me, not every week. I'm sorry.
Well, that's the thing. If you can transfer it and let, like, my oldest son use it this week, my youngest son use it next week, my daughter the next week.
Let Scott use it. He's going to go.
I'll take it.
See?
I'll mow down some
Be
riblets.
kind.
I am kind. I will share some things, but
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
That iPhone case that fell from the airplane 16,000 fleet, the Alaskan Airlines. You remember what happened to that. The door plug, all that stuff, nobody was hurt. But some things went out the plane, including some dude's phone. And this guy in Oregon who literally found the phone fully intact. They were able to confirm it was from that flight. It had half the battery life in it, or on it, still in airplane mode.
But just hilarious.
And they said it was open to the baggage claim area for the Alaskan Airlines. So he was ready to go pick up his luggage, and then all that happened.
He lost his phone and his luggage. Yeah, so they figured out which phone case this was, because if it can survive a 16,000-foot fall, I feel like that's the kind of case I need to get myself, because I drop my phone a lot.
16,000 feet, yeah.
That's not, I have had phones break when they fall out of my back pocket. I'm 5'3". So, hello. It felt like 2.5 feet.
And if it came from the back pocket, yeah, that's not a long way down.
Right. So I will never buy that phone case again, Kate Spade. But anyway, Cryo Armor is the name of the case. And I think it sells for like almost $70 if you get it from the company. But you can get it on Amazon for $25.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
If you could have a birthday party anywhere, where would it be? For Rachel, it is COSTCO. Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
Yeah, she calls herself kind of a super fan or a top fan of Costco, loves everything to do with Costco. And so her husband is like, okay, her 27th birthday is coming up. So he asked all of her friends to come to this Costco-themed birthday party, and some of them even dressed up like cashiers or, workers from Costco and that kind of thing.
Served hot dogs?
They did. They served hot dogs.
Had the samples?
Right. And the churros or whatever they serve at the food court really had the setup, had some signs. I think he was dressed like the greeter when you go into Costco.
That's
It's pretty
great.
cool.
Had the name tags and everything.
Yes.
The little Costco, what are our red vests
like a
they
red
have
vest.
on?
Yeah. And I just love that everybody involved took part, especially when you have a themed birthday party, and if nobody wants to be part of that theme, it's kind of a letdown. It's kind of a wah-wah.
I have a hard time with themed birthday parties. Not that I don't like them. I will go to them. They're the coolest thing. But me dressing up, I just don't do it.
I love it so much. I had my 40th birthday was an 80s birthday party, and my husband, who is not into costuming or anything like that, he wore a mullet. It was awesome.
That's great.
It was great.
He found a wig to do that.
He did. He found a
See,
wig.
and I'm not that creative when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'll tell you, when there was a themed thing for cowboys, I have the hats, so I'm like, okay, I have boots and a hat. That's normal.
But that's all you
for
have
me.
to have if it's, Western themed or
Yeah,
cowboy
but I'm not
themed.
going to run out and buy a bunch of stuff just for one event.
Oh, my daughter and I, from that 80s party, we went and had our hair teased. So it was
I can
like...
see that. Some people find joy out of that. I think that's great. That's wonderful. That's just not me.
Yeah, and it's not for everyone, but at least, maybe throw on a little something. I mean, you could have put on a mullet or a Miami Vice jacket, or if you're doing the Costco
that
thing,
means you have to run out and buy something for one thing, and I'm not
Listen,
going to do that.
I bet, first of all, Goodwill, Miracle Hill, something like that. You could go to
A
a
thrift
thrift
store?
store, but you could also go in the very back part of your closet, and I bet there's like a Journey t-shirt or something like that.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
There's a guy and a girl just hanging out, probably watching a movie or whatever, and the woman got very upset with her boyfriend because he refused to warm her feet up. She got so mad she called 911.
Huh?
911 to say, my boyfriend will not warm my feet up.
This is a joke, right?
No, this actually happened.
That's way over the top.
Way over the top. So then, okay, so I guess they calmed her down a little bit, and they, ended the call or whatever. A couple minutes later, hi, 911, what's your emergency? He was mad. She would not take her cold feet off his tummy. They were like, I guess he was sitting on the couch and maybe she had her legs spread out or whatever. And so he was very upset about it.
I feel like something influenced them more than just
maybe
feet and cold tummies.
Maybe some things, they were partaking in.
A beverage they were drinking.
Possibly, quite
Wow,
possibly.
that's so over the top.
Well, because it amps up, your emotions, no matter what. And they probably, then hung up and cried and whatever. So.
Hugged each other.
Right. I'm
fell
so
asleep.
sorry, but she still had cold feet.
Well, turn on the fireplace.
Do something. Don't call 911.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
I don't know if you saw all the posts last week of the snow that came through some of the country. Like, I have some friends that are in Nashville, Tennessee. They were showing pictures of their yards just full of snow. It looks so pretty.
Totes jelly.
I know, right? Because I grew up without snow. And so I feel like I lost the childhood of snow that was always sung about during Christmas.
Yeah, but you got a childhood full of beaches and blue
Yeah,
water.
but Floridians, you can't. There's not blue water in Tampa Bay, just so you'll know.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
It's
know.
very polluted and it looks horrible.
Aw.
And you swim in that stuff.
Ew.
Yeah, it's really murky. But anyway, we get back to snow. In Texas, where it snowed last week, they had what they call a year's worth of snow in 15 hours. That sounds horrible.
Is it? Okay, if that
So-
was all the snow they got, sure.
Mind you, in Coppell, Texas, where they got a year's worth of snow in 15 hours, it's 2 inches.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
So they did pretty good.
if they said, okay, we got a year's worth of snow that would fall in Buffalo, New York, then it would be a little different.
Right. That would be feet and feet. This was just like 2.5 inches of snow, and that was it.
But the kids were so excited. Nobody knows how to drive, obviously, in it.
Well, that's because there's not enough to take care of the roads.
Right, sure, because why would you invest when you never have to deal with it? So, oh well, y'all have fun in that.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Liz, a little 10-year-old, not our Liz, but Liz, this little 10-year-old could tell you anything about space and the final frontier and NASA and rockets and all this stuff. She can tell you anything about the rover that is on Mars, Perseverance, and what it's doing. She was captivated by it at the age of 10, so it's 3 years later. She has her own YouTube channel telling you everything that there is about space. It's all educational, and she wanted to get involved somehow, some way with the very first commercial flight to the moon, which is the Vulcan Center rocket. I think I said that right. It's that Vulcan rocket thing. Anyway, she captured the attention of those who are in charge of that thing, and she was asked to put together a time capsule to bring to the moon.
How cool is this? At her age, 10 years old. Now, it took a little time for her to get it together and for it to actually get on this flight. This thing took off last week. Last week, the Vulcan Centaur, whatever it is, was sent to the moon. And her time capsule aboard it.
Isn't that amazing? So here's the thing. There's something went wrong, so it's going to get close enough to the moon. It's not going to actually, the lunar lander is not going to make it down to the moon.
Exactly.
Something happened, but it would have if everything went perfectly with that launch.
But that's the thing, when they send these rockets up and even on the International Space Station, these things happen and they have to pivot. They have to figure out, okay, what can we do? What can we get close enough to the goal and still keep everything and everybody safe? Now, this was unmanned, right?
Yeah, because it's got
unmanned.
nothing to do with the space
Yes.
station. It's just a rocket.
Right, but anytime you send something into space, something's probably going to go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to be able
Have
to figure
you
it
seen
out.
the Tom Hanks movie, Apollo 13?
Listen, many, many things went wrong in that one.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Here's Dale. Dale Sanders. They call him Graybeard because his beard looks like Santa Claus's beard.
It does, but it looks kind of white. Why would they call him Graybeard? Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was just pointing it out.
Semantics, that's all.
Okay.
So old Graybeard, you'll catch him on a nice day in his canoe. He loves to get out in his canoe. It's like his way of getting in touch, you know, slowing down a little bit,
Nice.
paddling, getting a little bit of exercise. So here's what he just did recently. He did this 7 years ago, too.
What did he
First
do?
time he ever did it. He went on the Mississippi River and 87 days later stopped.
How long is the Mississippi? I know it's the longest river in the country.
3 or 4 miles.
Okay, wow, it took him 87 days. He's a slow rower.
Right? 87 days. And here's the thing. He did 87 days specifically on the Mississippi River because he's 87 years old.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
In a canoe for 87 days straight.
So did he pull over to the side every now and then and, go maybe get some more supplies? Or it was just straight 87?
There's
3
business that
months?
needs to be done.
So he pulled over.
Little natural break. Yeah.
Yeah, little turn signal. Yeah, getting over.
Turn signal in a canoe?